Breaking news, our very own brother, Rabbi Kwankwaso, gives us updates with regards to himself and Peter Obi merger. We know that they have been in talks, and the reason the discussion has not concluded is because, of who will be the presidential candidate and who will be the vice presidential candidate. That has been the serious talks. That has been the thing that has, deterred or prevented the whole merger. And so Kwankwaso is giving reasons why things are the way they are. The NNPP, which is the New Nigerian People Party, as well as LP, are kind of new parties, yes, are kind of new parties that are not yet, very well known. And so merging the South and the North will be a great boost. However, this is what is happening right now. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Let's get all the details. Presidential candidate of the new Nigerian People Party has spoken on the outcome of the discussions he had with Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party. Kwankwaso, a former governor of Kano State, who was in Gombe State to inaugurate the state office of the NNPP and to meet with elected members of the party, stated this in an interview with newsmen. He said he could not accept to be the running mate to any presidential candidate because doing so would lead to the collapse of NNPP. Kwankwaso said his political profile built over the years and his wealth of experience, having served in various capacities in the country, had helped in bringing NNPP to limelight within a short period of time. He stated that with the framework the NNPP has achieved within the short time, anything short of his presidency under the party would mean the collapse of the NNPP. From the discussions with Labour Party, the main issue was who becomes the president if the party merges. At the end of the day, some of our representatives thought that we have to look at this very carefully and we have to decide. It was a critical issue in our discussions to look at who will qualify and who will perform. Of course, on other sides, won't want so nobody really wanted to step down for the order. Most of the people from there believe that presidency has to go to the southeast. If now I decide to be the vice presidential candidate to anyone in this country, NNPP will collapse because the party is based on what we have built for the last 30 years. I served for 17 years as a civil servant. We are talking about 47 years. It's very serious hard work. That is what is holding NNPP now, he said. And that's why I cannot be a vice presidential candidate, and we must continue to look out for how we can possibly make this election a win for us. So, this guy has given the conclusion of the whole matter. There is a state of dilemma, and that is who becomes the vice presidential candidate. He doesn't want to step down. Okay, he doesn't want to step down. Peter Obi, what I mean by that, he doesn't want to be the vice presidential candidate. Peter Obi does not want to be the vice presidential candidate. Both wants to be the president. Okay, so it is what it is, and this is why they both have to stay where they are. Okay, both have to. Okay, so if I'm not going to be the vice president, you're not going to be the vice president, maybe we stay rather in our parties and look at how we can go on from here. So Kwankwaso is looking at it, and Peter Obi, nobody wants to be the vice presidential candidate, and nobody wants to, step down for the order so that the merger can continue and truly be completed. It says the NNPP, which is the new Nigerian People Party, has been a product of hard work over the years. They've worked at it to see that, that within a very short time, the party is now a limelight and what have you. And the truth of the matter is they really needs this merger, because the North and the South, of which Peter Obi is from the Southeast, already the South, and the North as well, are rooting for Peter Obi. So merging with the North to get that very credibility, I personally think will go a long way. But somehow they could not happen to be able to find, a common ground where one person will have to step down for the other. And for him, he said the new Nigerian People Party will collapse if he does, if he decides to, step down and become the vice presidential candidate. And that is not his dream and aspiration at all. Okay, he will rather prefer that, they stay as they would, rather prefer that NNPP, because whoever becomes the presidential candidate, that person's party will be the one on top, if you get what I mean. So that's what it is. And he does not want the new Nigerian People Party to be drawn into the Labour Party, which happens to be Peter Obi's party. Will rather prefer, that they stay the way they are. So this is why the merger has gotten a bit of setback. I mean, real setback, because it would have gone a long way. However, it has not, as a result of, who will be the presidential candidate or the vice presidential candidate. So this is where they are, and he had to speak to newsmen to say he's worked a long time, and he does not want his hard work to go down the drain because they have to merge. So here we are. I mean, here this is the way things are at the moment, and this is how far they've been able to come with the discussions so far. So Nigerians, it's about time we get our PVCs. That's where the real deal is. We get our PVCs and we vote for the right candidate. The PVC is so important. Okay, the PVC is so important because it will be a determinant of how we vote. Okay, if you don't have it, you will not be able, it's not me, you will not be able to vote if you don't have your PVC. And it's still, registration is still on. Okay, you and I have to be genuinely concerned if we want a change, if we want Nigeria to become a place, okay, where things can possibly, where there could possibly be a turnaround, then that's what has to happen. However, the gentlemen have not been able to see reasons why anyone should collapse his structure and join with the order. So things have remained the way they are. Things have remained the way they are. So this is where things are at the moment, and why Nigerians, we all must continue, to ensure that we vote in, we prepare our hearts to vote. Bye for now.